Hello, my name is Stacey Couch and my website is wildgratitude.com. I am a spiritual advisor and shamanic teacher. I'm going to share with you some tips and ideas for creating an ancestral altar. This is a sacred space on which you are going to put objects that help you feel more connected to your ancestors or help you send out your intention to learn more about your family history or simply feel more connected to your ancestors. So maybe you don't feel a sense of connection and you'd like this altar to help you. Maybe you do and you'd like to honor that. And maybe it's a mix of both, probably true for all of you. The place I'd like to start is a very general place that anybody, regardless of how much they know about their family tree or not, can engage with. And this is stones. There are, of course, a number of gemstones out there that help with ancestral healing. I'm going to hone in on a couple specific ones that are fun that you may not encounter elsewhere, but are some really fun ideas to play around with. The first of these is this teeny tiny little fellow, or girlfriend, but it's very little, right? You may see there's a reddish hue to it. And then what I'd like you to take a look at is, I'm trying to see if I can get the camera to focus in on it. There we go. You see that triangle on the top of it? It's not actually engraved in it and naturally forms that way. There you go, now you can see it. And this is a record keeper ruby. It's a special kind of formation of ruby, and it's gotten the name of record keeper. It is very much attached to and channels the scribe archetype. So if you're looking to know more about your family history, if you're looking for some help around that, if you'd like more records to surface, or if you're just connecting in with what you already have and trying to do so on a deeper level, all these things, these record keeper stones, rubies, are really helpful with that. And it's fun to try and find one that has a really clear and nice triangle like this one. I actually went through looking through quite a few to do that. So that can be a fun, really simple, small way and inexpensive way to set your intention that I'm looking to connect here with my ancestors. I'd like to take a quick pause to tell you about my Shamanic Ancestral Healing Program. It's a 4-month program where you get to go on shamanic journeys to meet with and get to know your ancestors, as well as receive healing and gifts for your genetic line. It's a beautiful program. It's limited to only 5 students. I have just 1 space remaining in this year's program that starts in August of 2025. I've put a link to the program in the description below to register. If you have questions or want to learn more about a payment program, you can go ahead and email me at info@wildgratitude.com or contact me through my website, wildgratitude.com. I hope you're able to join me in the Shamanic Ancestral Healing Program. And in the meantime, let's get back to creating an ancestral altar. Recently, I was at a rock shop in Moab, Utah, and came across this beauty. I bet most of you have no idea what this is. I had no idea when I saw it and immediately fell in love the moment I did see it and found out what it was. It is the inner ear bone of an ancient prehistoric whale. So tens of millions of years old. And if you know anything about whales, you know they don't have holes in the sides of their head. They get swimmer's ear, right, all the time. But they still have ears. And these ear bones sit inside of their head and receive vibration from the water and thus receive various sound. Think about this. This came from a being that lived tens of millions of years ago. And what vibration or sound this whale might have heard. Isn't that incredible to think about? And so whales are known for their ability to also connect in with the scribe archetype and to pass, think especially about humpback whales. They pass their songs down from one generation to the next. And there's a history in that song, right? And so if you're looking for connecting with the ancestors, what a great spirit animal to call on, the whale. If you don't have a fossilized inner ear bone of whale, they're actually quite reasonably priced. And you can find them online too. But if you don't have one, you can put a picture of a whale, paint a picture of a whale, have a little sculpture of a whale, and some representation like that. Put that on your altar and connect in with that spirit animal as a helper. Elephants are also, very connected generationally and are known for having really good memories. So you may want to have a representation of elephant. My other idea along those lines has to do with fossils of any kind. Teeth, I actually would probably recommend against, because like shark's teeth and stuff, because teeth are about cutting and chewing, and we're looking to connect with our ancestors. Teeth can be used for other things, but so I'm really, it's pretty easy to get fossils of ammonites. These are hundreds of millions of years old or more, right? These creatures. And if we're looking to, go back in time in history, what better helpers, these ancient beings. So not only are we getting the help of the minerals, you can see this one has opalized fossilization, and you see those little flashes of light a little bit that come through. This one's been polished. So there's minerals in here, and so we get the help of the mineral helpers. And then we also get the help of this being, the spirit animal of the ammonite, that old ancient memory connecting us back through time. These were ancient relatives of squid. They had tentacles coming out of these, and they swam through the water. So that's one ammonite stone. I also have this one from a necklace, and this has been sliced in half and then polished, so you can see the inside as well, and that idea of spiraling back in time. You can kind of play around with lots of cool ideas. So different symbols that help you feel connected through time, different animals, and then also different types of stones or fossils. Can be a fun way. Obviously, we're going to look at family heirlooms. Some of you may have none, some of you may have a handful, some of you may have a lot to choose from. For me, I've got a small handful, and my most prized of all of these is this pocket watch. Mostly we think of pocket watches having to do with men, right? This was actually my great-grandmother's pocket watch. And the fun thing about this, it plays a dual purpose in that it's my grandma Emma Josephine was her name. It has her initials engraved down low on it, but you might be able to see. Yep. And then we have this idea of the clock of time, of the passage of time, and honoring that, looking back in time, right? So we have these fun ways of playing with what we do put on our altars in terms of what it might mean. While I'm placing that there, I might as well select, I'm lucky enough to also have pictures of her. So here's her when she was older, and here's her with her girls as they were growing up. So there's Emma, is the owner of the watch. And then here's a picture of her with her husband and their farm. So yeah, so I'm gonna put that watch there. I'll put this picture out as a further nod to Emma, and that might be my altar. You can do an altar to just one ancestor if you have a lot of objects or images related to them, or if you really feel a strong connection to them. Maybe they were an artist like you, or they were some quality that overlapped there that you'd really like to honor that they passed on to you. So I could leave the altar at that. But for your purposes, I'll keep going. So what I'm going to do is actually divide this altar down the middle. You can do an altar to all one side of your family, like all the maternal side of your family potentially. But today I'm going to do a dual altar. So the left side of my altar, as I look at it, I'm going to, actually, let's switch that around. The right side of my altar, as I look at it, will be for my father's side, because the right's the masculine. And then the left side is feminine, so that's my mother's side. That's my they're my great-grandparents, Irma and Peter. I also a while back created a collage of some various images I have of different documents. This is my grandfather's draft card for World War II, and there's and also my great-grandfathers. And so I have their handwriting. Mostly, I don't, the draft card piece, yes, interesting, but it's really cool to have their handwriting, I think. And so not just only their images, or images of people, but also their handwriting. And I also put images that have the parts of Germany and Poland that my various ancestors from marked out on a map. And there's a farm from 1878 on there as well. So that can be a kind of fun way to just put a lot of pieces together. Jewelry, as women, we get jewelry passed down to us. I have this beautiful gold little bracelet that was my paternal grandmother's. And so I'll put that here on that side. And I don't know about you, but silverware was one of my grandma's things. Silver was really valuable, and it was a way of, having a family asset to pass down. I don't know how uniquely German it was, but it was definitely my grandma's thing. So I have 2 sets of silverware. Someday I may bring out one of the boxes and just put the whole thing out. But I like the idea of a ladle, right? Being able to hold and scoop up, and that the idea of a container, and versus a knife or a fork that's more stabbing or cutting, right? This has a sweeter shape and form to it, and it has the wreath on it that all the other pieces in one of the sets I have on it as well. So it feels like it's connected to the whole set. So I can put that here too. Obviously, I have a lot more from my paternal side. I have a lot more pictures and stuff too than my maternal side. That's okay. So what I might do is move the stone over here, to start to just even it out. What else? So things that remind you of your ancestors as well. My paternal grandfather passed away when I was 7, and I went to visit his grave. I wasn't able to go to his funeral, but I visited his gravesite afterwards. Where he's buried is very far from where I live, so I can't go to his grave very often. But I picked up an acorn from his gravesite, and so that helps me connect into the place where he was laid to rest. So put that on that side of the altar as well. And what else? So those are the things I have that I want to include from my direct ancestors. I also have some objects that are from my in-laws. So my grandmother-in-law passed away a while back, and we were given an opportunity to select some things of hers. And so I got this coral necklace she really liked. She lived in Florida. She really loved the beach. It reminds me of her. So maybe, I might make an altar all to her, at some point when I'm remembering her, or right after she passes away. And she also really liked glass. Also, she loved these hats. I have 3 of these actually, different colors, but, so these are just kind of fun antique pieces, regardless of even the history of them. And they can really just help with the idea of remembrance of the passage of time. So I can place these out here too. Might even actually place this, and you can just do it in a way that feels like, connected or aesthetically pleasing to you. Play around with that. Or you can, if you don't have something like glass is quite fragile. I feel kind of lucky to, it is only a couple generations back, but to be able to have that. You can also go to antique stores, and if something really speaks to you and you really like it, get it, put it on your ancestral altar. It's from a certain time period when your ancestors were alive, right? All right. And then the last piece I want to talk about is offerings to the ancestors. So I'm lucky I got this nice little bowl from some friends many years ago. It has a bee inscribed in it for blessings bowl. It's kind of easy. I know what it's for. And so this blessings bowl, it actually, put this out over here, keep moving it. Blessings bowl can contain any number of things, but food is often a nice thing, and it's a very common thing to put on ancestral altars. So what you may do, you may decide to put something like some dried, these are dried pinto beans in there as a food offering. And you may decide to do something else, like some seeds. So I collected some acorns off of the oaks on our ranch last fall. And these acorns, can be symbolic of the family tree itself, of the strong oak that, the oak that lives for many years, thinking back in time. Again, this idea of the passage of time and enduring the passage of time as well. And the seeds of past generations that have been planted in future generations, right? So there can be a lot of symbolism there in those acorns. Not that you need to use acorns, just that's something that occurred to me and really fit for me. Acorns can be, and yes, I don't think I'll plan on eating those, but so you can do dried goods, rice, beans, things of that nature, dried fruit. And you can also do fresh food. So you might put some fresh fruit on the altar for a while, or you may actually cook a meal and put it on the altar. What some families do, which is a really beautiful ceremony, is when they're having a big family gathering and family meal, is they'll put a plate of food from the meal on the ancestral altar and let it sit while everyone else is eating. And then at the end of the meal or some point in the meal, they'll go and grab that food, and then everybody will take a bit to eat off of that plate. And because we are the ancestors as well, so we can partake in that meal on behalf of the ancestors, being really mindful of their presence, both in our fiber, in our DNA, in our beings, and also their spirits with us in that time. So those are just a few ideas. There's a lot of places you can go with it. You can have a lot of fun. As you see, it can be very intuitive, and you can get ideas as you're working on it, and it can be very intentional as well. It really depends how much time you want to commit to the process, but don't take too much time. Make sure you get it done. These ancestral altars are important things to do. So, just go ahead and go with whatever you have or whatever you can throw together at the moment. Don't wait till you get just the right pieces necessarily. Make sure, that this is part of your spiritual practice. For connecting in with the ancestors. I am teaching a Shamanic Ancestral Healing Program. It's a 4-month-long program where we journey to connect and heal our relationships with the ancestors. That's starting in August 2025. I have one space remaining, and I do offer payment plans. So if you're curious about that, go ahead and email me. I have a link to the program in the notes below. If you have any questions or comments or ideas yourself that you would like to share, please put them in the comment section below the video or below the post on Substack. Either one works. And what else? Go ahead and contact me if you have any questions. Oh, give the video a thumbs up, please. And have a wonderful day. Have fun connecting with the ancestors. And I'd love to hear how it goes for you. All right. Take care.